Okay, so I'm here in Kenya, not far from the equator, and one of the products that we're testing, one of the new products that's out, is the new Iridium Go Executive, and that's this unit right here. So you can see it's very small. It's actually a little bit bigger than the previous edition Iridium Go, but it's quite a bit smaller than, let's say, a Starlink or some of the other solutions that are out there. But it does provide much faster internet connection, much faster data connection than anything that's come from Iridium before. This is a new constellation of satellites. And this one can actually transmit at up to 88 kilobits per second, which is slow by most standards, except for if you're at the North Pole or at the South Pole or some of the very remote places in the world, that a unit like this is really helpful. So you can actually do real work on this thing, especially if you have one of the unlimited plans. You just have to be patient. But you can definitely interact with social media channels. You can do things like connect to a Bosch system on a vehicle to do an update or to clear codes or to check the status of something on a vehicle. You can send and receive emails, the kind of the critical things that you need to be able to do in the field. And it would also fit in a pannier of a motorcycle, which a Starlink can't do. Okay, so there's a couple things to note about this Iridium Go Exec. It's got this cover. It's intentionally light colored. That way, if you were to have the unit out in the sun, it would keep it from kind of heat soaking with this black plastic that it's made out of. Now the antenna is in the up position. As soon as you deploy the antenna, the unit will eventually start, or you can get it started with this power button here. Most of the interface with the unit is done via the app. So there's an app for Android and there's an app for iPhone, the Iridium Go Exec app, and it tells you what the connection is, what the speeds are, how much data you've used, the current status of the connection. Gives you a lot of the same interface that you would have here on the unit, but it also allows you to set up some custom profiles, so that way if you're letting someone work off of your data, maybe they can only access WhatsApp, or they can only do iMessage, for example. So you can really limit the amount of data that goes through there. There are unlimited packages for the Iridium Go Exec, but then there's also packages where you're just purchasing a set amount of data. So you'd really want to control the amount of data that's being used, because it can get used up pretty quickly. But there's a lot of ways to lock this thing down. You always want to put the phone in low data mode. You always want to put the iPad or the laptop into a low data mode when you're connected to a unit like this. And then you want to just do your critical interfacing that you need to do. But you can also do a lot of it right here from the unit. So for example, if the phone was to be damaged or lost, you can still make phone calls using either a headset or using the speaker and the speaker that's in the unit and the microphone that's in the unit. You can send SOS. You can also do some other light interfacing through the screen itself. On the side, you can see there's quite a few ports here. So this is going to be your headset port, and then this is going to be your charging port, which is going to be USB-C, which is really important. Any device that doesn't charge with USB-C anymore should really be considered obsolete. And then you've got a couple other ports here. So you've got a RJ45 connection to a laptop or to another device. You've also got your SIM card, and then this is going to be your SOS button here when it really hits the fan. That needs to be configured ahead of time. You also want to have emergency services that you, like Global Rescue or whatever geo system that you want to employ to help you get out of a bad situation. The unit itself is really small, so you can see it like in reference to my hand here. I do have bigger hands, but it is a small unit overall. So someone that is on a motorcycle, for example, you could really take this unit along with you. It also doesn't look that unusual. You could it's not going to require a lot of explanation at a border typically. So, you know, you put down this antenna and then you put the cover on it, and it pretty much just looks like something you'd have in your camera bag. So it's overall, it's a very effective unit. It's actually much faster than I was expecting. I'm getting really good performance out of it. And this would probably be my unit of choice on a motorcycle because it allows you to do everything that you need to do when you're really remote.